The ghost of Reggie Miller is returning to the Garden. I'm excited about this. Knicks versus Pacers. Now, in hip-hop, we've grown to know that pretty much two things have been synonymous with New York MCs. It's Tim's and a love for, the Knicks, right? Mm-hmm. So, and this is evident, obviously, look at the new, it's kind of like turn into a red carpet thing when people are pulling up Tracy Morgan and Spike, and Spike's been a New York fan, but all these rappers, Jadakiss, Busta, all these guys are
Fat Joe and Joe Budden were
Fat Joe, Nori even came through there, and they're starting to come out to these games at the Garden. But obviously, our approach might be a little different to this series. So first and foremost, hip hop has always been with sports and all that. You can tell by the rappers going to the games. How much do you think the '90s rivalry will play into this series?
It's always been there. It's never left.
You don't think it's ever left?
It's never left. I mean, the last time we actually played them in the Eastern Conference Finals, I think was 2000.
Yeah.
We played them in 1999 and we played them in 2000.
Yep.
Kind of was cheated in 1999.
Don't get me started.
2000 we went to the NBA championship. So this, even when we don't play them in the playoffs, Knicks Pacers game is always the best ticket in town as far as a rivalry.
I mean, you could make the argument of Boston Lakers.
We have issues with when Boston comes here too.
Yeah,
because they got some asshole fans. I don't know, man. I don't think it's ever left as far as that rivalry is concerned. It's just more in the forefront because it's the Eastern Conference Finals again. This is like whoever wins this is going to the finals.
Yeah. I think this. I wouldn't agree that it's never left, but I think the stakes being this high is giving me that old feeling again. Because this is important.
Yeah, it is.
Obviously, this is important. Now, for me and for us growing up as Pacers fans, it's always on whenever we play the Knicks.
It was the Hicks versus the Knicks.
Come on, every single time. But overall, I think the importance is ratcheted up now because this is to go to the finals. And then you see all these guys coming out. All the artists are starting to come out now. So this is big. This is big, and I'm excited about it. I want to see all the old clips, the pregame. I want to see old interviews. Reggie, I want to see all that.
We're out here.
Reggie's actually commentating this situation too.
Yeah. That's even better.
Yep, the last situation on TNT before this switching broadcast rights.
We have all these hip hop podcasts repping New York, and we're like the only Indiana repping hip hop podcast out here. But look,
it's Pacers all day.
They don't want the smoke.
They don't. Yeah, Pacers in 6. We on the record.
Pacers in 3.
I'm
3.
3.
I got Pacers in 6.
4.
Nah, after 3, they're just gonna go home.
Man, listen, Pacers in 6, bro.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
definitely riding with Pacers in 6. If we can do it in 5, I'm good with that too. But I'm not going to sit here and act like this isn't going to be.
It'll be a good series.
It's going to be a very good series.
It's not going to act like it's not going to be like a back and forth situation. But I feel like the Pacers are so much in their bag right now.
Yeah.
Again, this is year 2 of the Eastern Conference Championship. Back to back. And I just feel like our pieces are gelling kind of similar to how Golden State. Like when you talk about when Golden State first got together, when that team was first built, Mark Jackson was the coach.
Shout out to Mark Jackson.
He put all of those pieces together and gave the keys to Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr put his own little medicine on it and made them a team that nobody can mess with. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying we have a Steph Curry on our team.
No, we don't.
But we have a team full of dogs that are ready to play and know how to play and are going to run you up and down the court
and we've been
till
there.
you run out of energy.
We've been there.
We've been there.
This is what we do. So
this version of the Knicks hasn't been
there
here, to the conference finals.
I don't think the Knicks have enough people.
See, my thing is with Jalen Brunson, this is going to be a frustrating series for me because of his flopping. He's going to take 35 free throws a night. That is trash basketball to me. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
But I'm not that big of a Karl Anthony Towns fan. I think he's corny.
He needs to fix his voice.
He can play, but something off about dude. He can play though.
He got a few different voices.
I know.
Yeah.
I guess Tyrese does too, but
but Tyrese is pretty much public enemy number 1 outside of around here. But we still rock with him.
Yeah, did y'all see the graphic where it showed where everybody's rooting for
The Knicks,
except for Indiana.
That's why I want them to win so bad.
I
was like, where does that level of hate come from?
I just feel like overall, I mean, to your point, like I do think this is going to be a really good series.
It is
because the Knicks starting 5 are very, very solid.
Yeah.
But I'm picking Rick Carlisle over Tom Thibodeau.
Absolutely.
Picking yourself?
Well, the reason why I'm picking him is because number one, he's a better coach. In my opinion, I think he runs the starters too. Derrick Rose.
Oh, I ran him in the ground.
You know, like he just. I think when you have a 7-game series like this against a team like Indiana, and this is all bias aside, bias looking this outside of being an Indiana Pacers person, the Pacers are too deep, and they're going to run them the entire time. And I don't think 5 or 6 or 7 players can compete with like 10.
No, because the whole team does this,
and the way that they play team basketball, and the way when they get hot, man, they're tough.
And you got to remember too, Halliburton is someone that can get his teammates involved, pick his spots, but you can also depend on him in the clutch.
Yep.
For recently.
Yeah, no, that
right there, I'm not too worried about him. It's just I want him. Like to your point, the team concept is what gets them over to me.
Yeah. And even about when Halliburton has an off game, we still do pretty good.
And he only scored 13 points in that game where
he scored like 2 one game.
They blew out the Cavs, when they were up by like 40 at one point. I think that's part of coverage because they pulled him out of the game. Mm-hmm. But when you look at the Pacers play, there might be 5 different people that might be leading scorer. Yeah, that's the thing about you. Look, y'all mess around and let TJ McConnell get out there and he might hit you up for 25.
I like TJ McConnell.
Nice. That's the thing. Yeah. Everybody on this Pacers squad balls. Like, that's what they do. And they're going to run you until you're tired. Like, if you've seen the Cavs series, Donovan Mitchell did all he could do. By the end of that game, he had exhausted.
And he was balling.
Yes.
He had like 48 points on a loss.
Yes.
Like, he was hooping.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot keep up with these dudes. And like, I heard there's an interview, actually, it's an older interview, where Halliburton is having a discussion with Paul George. Mm-hmm. And they're talking about how the Pacers run their organization. Like, it's different than a lot of these teams out here. Like, look, we get fined for everything. If you're not even on the table to get your rehabilitation at, let's say, 7:45, if you get there at 7:47, you're going to be fined. If practice starts at 9, he said most of the people are getting there an hour before because they don't want the fine. Whereas you go to another team, their situation is they're coming in 5-10 minutes before practice starts.
Yeah,
it's pretty much just how the Pacers is built as an organization to instill hard work and being on time, whether it be on the court or whether it be in for practice, anything that has to do with it. It's just a different style of ball in this organization.
But isn't it like a different style of ball in the state of Indiana?
That is,
of course.
You know what I mean?
It always is.
It's just like it's different here. Like, and you don't know unless you've been here. Like,
100%.
Look, the same way when you go to Texas and you see the football stadiums that they have for their high schools. It's when you see the largest capacity basketball gyms for high school are almost all concentrated here in the state.
There's
of
like
Indiana.
9 of them.
Yeah.
It was in our conference.
Yeah,
like I played in all of them.
So the thing is, when I look at the Pacers, I just look at it. Everybody laments the fact that it's this whole me AAU situation, and that just isn't the Pacers. And the thing is, we've never. This is frustrating as a Pacers fan. Is we're never so bad that we're just like in that lottery situation where we think we might be in a position to get a number 1 pick, which
we were 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, that's right. But Pacers are not like the Washington Wizards who just be lucky to happy to get 15 wins a game. They're just out there bullshitting and hoping that they can, through the lottery or through draft picks or trading up to where they can get something. Like, there are some new moves that the Pacers have made where I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. But I just remember when we got Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield came with him. I know a lot of people love Sabonis here, but I was like, oh, that's a good move. Now, the only reason I knew about Halliburton and Hield is when I was, heavy into my fantasy betting. I was like, oh, no, these guys are good. But you see that move because, it was from teams that were comparable in record. And, it's not like they were moving them between super big markets and super small. It's kind of like markets that are kind of in the same situation. And, a lot of people, it's been hard for us to get those free agents or even get people, I don't know why I dislike him so much. I know why I dislike him so much because we offered Victor Oladipo a big contract and he didn't. He bounced around the league and didn't do shit the rest of his career. So that's on him. Because, so I think we have a core of guys who are going to be like, no, there's all this bullshit we're talking about. Who was it? Paul George talking about, man, maybe I could come back.
No, we cool on that. I'm cool on that.
Was that even real? Did he really say that?
I sure hope it wasn't. Because we're cool. Good. We seen this movie.
I'm cool.
You podcast P. Like, we don't need that. We need people who are dedicated to balling, and that's the kind of squad we have right now.
And that's what I like about Indiana as a whole, because every time we make a playoff run, it's almost like we have to reintroduce ourselves as, no, we really ball. Like, y'all don't see our games because they're not televised to the point where we're like, it's not televised to our level of play because we're a small market team. So you don't get to see what we're doing all year long. And Pacers are generally always a second half of the season team.
Yeah, because they started out this season kind of it was rough.
Yeah.
They bounced back. They've had a really good second half.
That usually happens with the Pacers. That's why, like, when the season first starts with the Pacers, it's almost like, I'm like, yeah, okay, they ain't winning games, but they're going to mesh. It's going to happen. And lo and behold, we're back to back in the Eastern Conference Finals. And I honestly feel like we can go to the finals this year, man. Like, it's a realistic situation in my head, right? Like, I can see it.
Yeah, I feel like the stars are, I don't want to say the stars are aligned, but we don't have like a super major, I mean, yes, the OKC, they were best record, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they're expected, but they're new to it too.
Actually, Cavs were the best record, I thought.
No,
I think it was
OKC first and then the Cavs.
But even OKC, look, they got taken to 7 games by Denver.
I tell you what, though, and I hate
we've been getting people out of here.
I'm just being honest. David Stern, rest in peace, David Stern. What's the commissioner? Adam Silver. Adam Silver is hoping for Knicks, Timberwolves. You got Ant Edwards, the superstar.
Yeah.
Even SGA to me is better than him, but he's got the personality, he's got the charisma, he's got the shoes.
There's a trade though.
Yeah, and the trade, and then you got the Knicks. That's one of your blue blood franchises.
Number 1 television market.
Yeah, so that's what they want. But I would love to spoil that.
I would love for her to be 2 small market teams.
Come on, man.
What are
I'd love
considered to be
that.
2 small market teams.
I think the Pacers would. I don't know. That would be
Pacers and OKC would be, for some people, would be nasty. But I'd be like, oh, that'd be an incredible.
I think for the Knicks series though, I think the matchup that I'm interested in is like, how will the Pacers attack defending Jalen Brunson? And how would they, with the flopping that you mentioned, but will it be? I know it's going to be Naismith and Nembhard, probably Naismith most likely.
They're going to chase him.
They're just going to wear him down. I think.
Look, let him get his 40, just like we would let Donovan get his looks.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, they got other weapons on New York that the Cavs didn't have. Now, and
not the whole series.
That's not to say that the Cavs were a slouch, because I mean, obviously they were the number 1 team in the East. But when we're talking about a team that has bigs and somebody that can get up the court and actually make these plays.
Cavs did too, though.
Yeah.
They had Jared Allen. Mobley
Jared Allen and Mobley are tough.
Right.
Mobley was like almost. I know, granted, he was hurt. I think Mobley's better than Cat.
Really?
I take Mobley over Cat.
I would too.
But I will say Cat spreads the floor. But I think Pascal can guard that.
But I want Cat shooting them threes and not using his size. Keep shooting them, fam.
Yeah,
shoot them all night.
Look, the Knicks lost a game to the Celtics when Jason Tatum wasn't here. So I don't even know if we can. I don't know how much we can believe in the Knicks. I don't believe in them at all because I want the Pacers to win. But that's neither here nor there. There's enough holes in their game and what I've watched to where
first 2 games. I'm curious.
They're going to
be in New York. So, and that's crazy because
doesn't seem like it matters to the Pacers.
It doesn't matter to the Pacers. It doesn't.
It is going to be that atmosphere. Talk about a ticket.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, that's going to be good. No,
that's going to be good.
All things aside, I think this is going to be the best series of anything left.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'd agree with that.
I'd agree with that. Like, this has got history.
Yeah,
it's got like 2 teams that are actually really good.
Yeah,
that both really, really want to, establish themselves. Like It would be extremely wild if the Pacers won it all. It would be wild.
Man, this place would go crazy.
Yo, that would be.
It'd be wild.
I would say they'd cancel school, but school will be out.
But I mean, just like from a standpoint of the, I mentioned it before, but the way they play, the team basketball style, I mean,
there's nobody left.
It's just
playing like that in these playoffs. Nobody plays like the playoffs. I mean, like the Pacers in these playoffs. Too many peas. Popping peas.
They just play. They play, man. I just like it. I don't know.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm standing on it. Pacers in 6. I think that's the consensus for us. And we're probably the only people that are going to talk about that.
If somebody gets hurt, I think
that
could potentially change, things a little bit. Like if one of the Knicks starters goes down, I think it's a wrap.
I would agree. And I'm not wishing that on them. I want everybody even.
Because I don't want there to be any excuses.
Yeah, I want everybody even.
But the thing is like they're not as deep. So if Tyrese goes down, that's a problem. If Miles goes down, that's a bigger problem because
he's a rim protector.
Thomas Bryant is not it.
No, we couldn't think that happens. I ain't going to talk. I don't even want to talk about it.
It's just wild that they've been trying to trade Miles Turner for 7 years.
I don't even know if they're trying to trade him. I kind of feel like that this is talk coming from outside of the organization.
Yeah,
it's like they always say the same couple people every year, and it never happens.
I think he wants to be here, low key.
I think
he wants to be here.
I don't even think it's low key. I think he wants to be here.
Yeah, I think he wants to be here.
I think everybody who's here wants to be here.
That's what I feel like. I feel like that. A few of these people on our team right now are going to retire a Pacer.
That's good.
And I'm hoping Halliburton is one of them. Because I feel like his stock is constantly rising just based off his performance. And he has a lot of eyes on him because of how the players voted him the most overrated.
Mm-hmm.
And then for him to show that, no, I really do this. I've hit game winners. I'm hitting game winners consistently.
He's got a lot to prove in the next couple months, in the next month.
Yeah.
This could put him in a whole different bracket. If they get to the finals.
If they get there,
puts him in a whole different category.
Because I mean, think about it. Even Jalen Brunson, he got traded. He
was a Dallas Maverick.
He was like second, third fiddle on Dallas.
Mm-hmm. And this thing never happened to him because now he out here leading the team.
He's 90 free throws a game.
Come on, man.
Oh, man.
And another thing that sticks out about Hallie is Hallie just wants to win. He doesn't care if he's the one that wins the game. As a whole, he wants the unit to win.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to do anything to get everybody involved. I might not score that much this game, but I got rebounds, I got assists. You know what I'm saying? I'm moving the ball.
Or traditional point guard role.
He doesn't really force it too much. Sometimes he does, but
I feel like he pulls the trigger when it's needed. It's like he almost knows that.
Yeah.
But he's hot. It's my time.
Yeah, when he's hot, definitely.
Yeah,
so.
They're at their best when he's 22 points, 13, 14 assists.
Yeah.
Mm.
That means everybody's involved and he still got his imprint on the game. To me, that's when they just running up, like Terry said, running up and down the court, a wrap.
Yeah, and there are stats to prove that when Hallie does have a bad game, that they do struggle.
Yeah.
So, team being a great team or not. So
gotta have them.
All right, Pacers in 3.
All right, man. Pacers in 6. All right, is there anything else you gentlemen want to say before we ride out?
No, I think this time, hopefully when this comes out on Thursday.
It'll be 1-0, yeah.
I'm dropping this tomorrow.
Yeah.
Drop that thing.
All right. Yeah,
Drop that.
So, let's do it. A1.
Yes, sir.
At the Garden.
At the Garden.
How do y'all feel about these new Pacer terms? The yes, sirs.
I hate that shit.
I ain't paying attention.
What is that?
Huh?
What is that?
You ain't never seen that, like the shirts that say yes, sirs?
Yes, sirs.
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's one. And then you got.
The Cleveland had the diffs.
They did. I was like, man, I didn't want one of them shirts. And then you got the Hallie? That goes with the song, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm cool with that. But the yes sirs, I was like, I remember because they brought about flags for everybody to put in their businesses. I was like,
yeah, what is this supposed to be? You want to trade it in for a Boom Baby one?
I'm Boom Baby every year. I say that. Boom Baby every time they win. I'm with the Boom Baby movement.
Or it was even Miller time. It's Miller time.
It's Miller.
Yeah. Let's go Pacers, man.
Go Pacers, bro. Already.
Yeah, it makes you feel good when your home teams are winning too. This adds a you know what I'm saying, a better spirit in the air.
How about if the Pacers win, we'll drop a rap track, and Terry and Jay Moore will rap on it,
We'll make the beat.
Yeah, we'll make the beat.
Yeah, we'll make the beat. Yeah. That'll be fire.
That'll be the Star Trap song. The Star Trap.
They don't know nothing about Star Trap.
Yeah. So
Jay Moore will just be on there like cooking and be like, "Hey, what's going on, y'all?"
Yeah. It's gonna be a trap record too, though.
No, I do my Nate Dogg impression.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
What's his name? Skyzoo has
got a
the
Knicks
Knicks
song.
The Knicks theme song. I
Oh
guess.
yeah, we reviewed that.
So we gotta not like Skyzoo for the next few weeks or so.
It's a yellow and black everything, or yellow and blue everything.
Yellow,
not blue and
you know what
Go.
is kind of I hope if we can sweep the series
Oh,
and we win it here next Tuesday.
man.
That might be asking a little too much. We
You know
might have
what?
a Pacer watch party
Put it out there.
for the show.
I'm putting it out there because I know
If
it'll
it's
be a
a
good
sweep
night for me
situation.
Is that
business
next
wise.
Tuesday?
Oh, you'll get a
Next-
lot of business.
Oh yeah, like I when I looked at the schedule, I was like, "Yo, Nick, let's get it together."
Just in
because
case.
Hey, I might take
Game 4.
Wednesday off work if that happens. I might want.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I know I'd be a mess if there's people
we going
partying downtown.
Man, listen. What we gonna fellowship together
Look,
on that night?
if it winds up being 3-0, we might have to push the show up back so we can be out in the streets.
You might be
I need
right.
to be out in the streets.
Yeah,
on that.
They're going
100%.
to have the police. They're going to have to get the horsey police out.
Nah, for real. That's
No,
a real thing
seriously.
here.
If we win the Eastern Conference Championship here, oh my God.
Yeah. Is that game going to be here too?
The fourth game
4 would be here. So if they sweep,
Yeah,
So it'd be
coaches will be fucking
I know
stupid.
that. I know.
So
Trust
it'd be
me.
4, 5, and then 6 would be here.
6 would be here.
Oh man, so you got 2 shots.
Man,
Because if it's 6 and they win here,
Jesus Christ.
Mhm.
man, listen.
It's going to be
gonna be-
firework, gunshots, everything.
Yeah, I
man.
mean, low key, be careful. I want a fellowship too, but people forget Indianapolis ain't what you.
I mean, y'all still going to jail if you.
There's there's
Be
more
careful.
than corn.
It's more than corn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
more
There's
than
no
corn.
corn in Indianapolis.
Yeah,
so-
exactly.
You know that's what they think.
Yeah, whatever.
The stadium is surrounded by corn.
People think that?
Think about Iowa. Think about the Iowa Stadium. You know you're imagining corn all around
Yeah.
it. That's what people think of
And if
us.
you've
Iowa,
driven
though.
through Iowa, you know.
Hey,
it's-
see, you just did it.
Yeah.
People think the same thing about us.
See?
That's wild.
Or when people talk about coming here, it was like, well, they got the Pacers and that one steakhouse.
Yeah.
Elmo's, St. Elmo's or whatever.
Yeah, Chuck was on there talking crazy. Have
Yeah.
my steak ready.
Have my steak ready.
Shut up, man. All y'all talk shit about. All y'all talk shit about the Pacers. Nobody wanted the Pacers in this situation.
Facts.
Nope.
Facts.
So I hope they burn your steak.
He likes them well done anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Nasty
seem like the type.
All right, let's get out of here.
Right.